Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including ATL FM Cape Coast, Might FM Tamalik, Bewa Radio Yendi, and Inkligi FM Bole Get Radio TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, attacks in Bawku spark exodus of companies as fear grips doctors, teachers, and nurses.
Businessmen in their stores are being shut down and closed because at any point in time you can be attacked and killed in your own home or even at your work site. No one is safe.
There are a lot of stray bullets all over.
Also, labor unions insist government must reverse decision to impose VAT on non-lifeline residential electricity consumers as they threaten massive unrest after a week.
They should withdraw that letter because we are not ready to pay any more taxes on electricity.
Let me say it bluntly, we will engage in industrial action.
In business,
World Bank Board approves $300 million for Ghana to support some budgetary projects and stabilize the economy. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And later, the GFA sacks Chris Houghton, dissolves technical team for Ghana's exit at AFCON.
If you're asking me about myself personally, then as head coach, I've not done well enough in this competition.
These are more coming up with me, Mamisi Nyamicha Thompson. Details shortly. In our first story, fear has gripped Bawku after a truck attack surged the toll there to 13. The situation has prompted an exodus of workers and companies from the town. Doctors, teachers and nurses find themselves living in constant fear of reprisals. According to them, bustling businesses have shut their doors and many workers are leaving town. Dr. Dennis Delary is the acting general manager of the Presbyterian Hospital in Bawku.
It's true that a lot of people a lot of organizations in town have left, but at the hospital we are still at post. We're giving our best. The numbers obviously have dropped, maybe because people are afraid to come out or maybe to seek help care from our facility. We are not obviously operating at our peak, like I said, because the patient numbers probably obviously are low. Some staff who are also uncomfortable with the situation, and some have actually left town.
While other workers have also been expressing fear over attacks.
If the managers are tampering with the condition of service, we will draw our services, and that is.
We're very sorry for that wrong insert. Let's move on. Labor unions stand firm, demanding that government must reverse its decision to impose a value-added tax on non-lifeline residential electricity consumers, warning of potential widespread unrest if the one-week ultimatum elapses. In a recent taxation move, the government decreed that consumers about the poorest pay the tax. The unions strongly object to this measure and have called on government, the Electricity Company of Ghana, and the Ghana Revenue Authority to overturn the decision. While the ECG acknowledges that the tax law passed in 2013 remained unimplemented, it asserts its inability to reverse the decision. Leila Abubakari is External Communications Manager at the ECG.
The sentiment out there generally isn't good because of the economic hardships that a lot of people are facing. Unfortunately, our legal ammunition does not come in for us to advocate in any effective manner for the customers. In any case, this is a law that has been passed and should have been implemented. By law, it should have been implemented in 2013. If there's any amendment that can happen, that would have to happen between different factions in government.
But Deputy Secretary General of the TUC, Joshua Ansah, says their decision is non-negotiable. He spoke with Evans Mensah on Top Story.
We will never be okay. We are not okay, and I don't think we'll be okay. They should withdraw that letter because we are not ready to pay any more taxes on electricity, whether it's beneficial to them or whatever it is. But there was no engagement, and this directive has come out. So how do you expect us to engage? All what Labour is calling for is a total withdrawal of that paper, of that directive, by 31st of this month. It is enough. Taxes is enough. No negotiations about this one at all, because government knows what it's doing.
You heard Deputy Secretary General of the TUC, Joshua, answer there. The management of the University of Ghana has been compelled to move lectures for hundreds of first-year students online following an industrial action by Senior Staff Association and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, TEWU. Contact hours at the library have also been reduced from 14 to 9 hours. The Senior Staff Association of the Legon branch and TEWU were yesterday stopped by the police for reportedly demonstrating without a permit, a claim the groups deny. Some students say the strike has begun affecting their studies.
For the lecture halls, some are working currently and most of them have also been closed. So for instance, there's a lecture hall at JQB that they have lectures there. Some have been closed and some are working. The level 100, for instance, I talked to a lady who is in level 100 who I asked whether she went to class yesterday, and she informed me that when she went to class, they were told that the class has been cancelled purposely because of the strike. We are having a congregation for exam. We are a congregation for graduation, and some were going for their gowns, and they were told that the driver to bring the gowns is on strike. The driver to bring the gowns is on strike. So I just imagine. So sad things in there, just something that you just have to just ignore and just accept the facts.
Well, TEWU chairman at the Legon branch, Ken Botry, warned that they'll be compelled to lock exams and lecture halls if government does not cede their request.
If the managers are tampering with the condition of service, we will draw our services. And that is it. No exams will go on. All the examination halls will be locked up. All the necessary tools that will be used for the examination will be locked up. Yes, that's what is going to happen.
Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary of the NLC, Ofosu Asamoah, says they have summoned the striking university senior staff and TEWU, but described the process adopted to embark on the industrial action as wrong.
Solidarity strikes are allowed by law, except that the process they went through was wrong. You see, in any form of strike, you must notify the commission. But they just brought the letter at the time when they have engaged in the strike already. But in any case, the commission will decide on it tomorrow.
Well, the Electoral Commission has justified its proposal to shift the voting date for both the presidential and parliamentary elections from December 7 to November 7. The EC also advocated election days to be designated as national holidays. These proposals were presented during the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting on Monday. Deputy Chairman of the Commission in charge of corporate services, Dr. Bosman Asari, said the proposal stemmed from reforms presented by the political parties in 2015.
We gave a reason that the time for the EC to work on organizing the elections within 3 weeks will be very, very tight. And beyond that, the time for the inauguration, you have a new government and an old government living office, the time will be too short. So we gave those reasons for why we think that what was adopted in 2015 will still be relevant in 2024. So we told the parties that it came from them, they should support, so that all of us will work in tandem to ensure that we are able to change, have enough days in the event of a runoff, we'll be able to implement it successfully.
Dr. Bosman added that political parties also agreed for the day of voting to be declared a public holiday.
Actually, we discussed two things. Changing the election date to a day possibly in November. Then secondly, making the day of elections a public holiday. Those were the two main issues that were discussed yesterday.
And a public holiday, was there an acceptance of that?
Yes, because we made it clear to them that in 2020, we succeeded in making IPAC and the Electoral Commission wrote to the Chief of Staff to work on making December 7, 2020 a public holiday. And we're able to have a very high voter turnout.
Away from the EC, controversial South African politician Julius Malema says Ghanaian leaders must bow down their heads in shame for doing little to stop the killing of women and children in Gaza. Speaking at an event dubbed A Dialogue with Malema, organized by pressure group Arise Ghana, he said the world must unite and call for a stop of what he describes as a massacre of innocent women and children by Israel.
Shame on the leadership of Ghana for saying they support what is happening against the people of Gaza. They must be ashamed of themselves, because any African who knows what settlers do when they settle in your country will never support that nonsense that is happening in Palestine.
Away from that, the Ghana Football Association has sacked Black Stars coach Chris Hughton. The association, in a statement issued on Tuesday on its website, said the GFA wishes to announce that Chris Hughton has been relieved of his duties as head coach of the senior national team with immediate effect. The Executive Council also decided to dissolve the technical team of the Black Stars. The GFA said it will, in the coming days, provide a roadmap on the future of the team. Before this, Chris Hughton had already claimed responsibility for Ghana's last-minute changes against Mozambique, which led to the Black Stars exiting the group stage of the AFCON.
If you're asking me about the results that we've had and the performances that we've had, we have not been good. If you're asking me about myself personally, then as head coach, I've not done well enough in this competition. We have played 3 games. As I've said, we've conceded 2 goals in.
And you heard sacked coach of the senior national team, Chris Hughton. That's how we end the bulletin in our top story. Attacks in Bawku spark exodus of companies as fear grips doctors, teachers and nurses. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
Over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants on selected match days from selected Total Energy service stations, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social media pages, Total Energies GH, for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Let's live football together.
The boys are lined up looking for an opening. They are charging forward from our 3. Kuku has his eye on the cashier, but Yao gets there first. He taps, and he scores!
Win your ticket to glory with the ABSA Card Assist. Tap to pay with your ABSA debit or credit card, and you could win an unforgettable Premier League experience in the UK or any of over 50 consolation prizes such as home appliances and shopping vouchers. It's time to tap your way to the Premier League with your ABSA card. ABSA, the official banking partner of the Premier League. Terms and conditions apply.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
No matter your water needs, Sintex has it all. Sintex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Sintex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Sintex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Sintex tank. Sintex tank, stress-free. Sintex tank, reliable. Sintex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit sintexgh.com. Sintex tank, a strong, a tough.
You no longer need to travel far to access your funds, send from abroad, or conduct local transfers. With a network of 147 rural and community banks, RCBs, and more than 800 locations across the country, ARB Apex Bank and the RCBs boast of the largest bank branch network in the country for all money transfer services.
Whether you are receiving funds from abroad or conducting local transfers, ARB Apex Bank and rural and community banks provide you with the convenience through various trusted money transfer services such as Western Union, Ria Money, Unity Link, Apex Link, and Ghana Pay. Visit us today to access a wide range of banking and money transfer services. ARB Apex Bank and rural community banks, together for progress.
Hello? Yeah, Kofi. Charlie, we spoke about going to Imperial for our motor insurance today.
Shit, are you the one to remind me? I am at Imperial already.
What?
I told you about their motor insurance promo, right?
Yeah.
This time it is reloaded, my brother.
Wow.
Imperial General is saying, come insure with them from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. 4 coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many, many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover, my brother. And now you can also get brand new tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just insure your car and you are done.
Hey, Charlie, I can even do it online and still get my reward.
Oh yes, don't slow. Talk to your broker, agent, or call us on 0577 667 436 for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. T&C Supply, Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
Good morning.
Bafudingles.
Hey.
Good morning. You certainly don't have this problem. I mean, overweight, no. We can't tell by looking anyway. But it would be, not a very smart guess to consider you overweight. And I'm
not. I'm not.
You seem well within tolerance. Yeah, but it is shocking to see just how many more women in Ghana are overweight than men. And it's a real problem. Look, I don't think anyone has explained it carefully.
Okay.
But just having a little bit more weight than you're supposed to creates all kinds of health problems. And you see, the connection between that extra weight and the health problem is sometimes not really clear to see, right? So what is it? Why is it that if I have extra fat, I can get diabetes? Well, let me explain. It's quite simple. You see, your body produces a certain enzyme called insulin. The job of this enzyme is just to help you digest, metabolize, process the carbohydrates and fats in the food you eat. Okay? Your body needs it for energy, right? So this enzyme called insulin kind of unlocks your cells so that it can absorb all the glucose from the carbohydrates and fats that you eat and put it into your cells so that your cells use it as energy. You need energy for everything, walking, running, blinking, everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. And if your pancreas, which is the organ that produces insulin, if it's not working properly, or it's not producing the insulin properly, or the insulin is not having the right effect on your body, then you are unable to absorb that glucose from your blood, okay? Which means that the glucose remains in your blood, giving you high blood sugar. And if that continues over a long period of time, you become diabetic. Now, being fat or being overweight, what it does is that it also releases certain hormones that make it difficult for your body to process the glucose and the fats and all of that you eat. So your insulin doesn't have a good effect on your body. It's unable to unlock those cells. Your body becomes resistant to insulin, which means that the glucose continues running through your blood, keep giving you high blood sugar for a long period of time. Then you become diabetic.
Wow.
That's what just a little bit of excess fat can do.
And that's just an aspect of it.
That's
right?
one disease, diabetes. It causes heart disease, cardiovascular disease, strokes, just because you are carrying around a little more weight than your body was designed to carry. And these fats, they gather around certain organs, your liver and so forth, and create illnesses that cost a fortune to treat. Most of the time you can't cure, and inevitably could lead to your death. Just being a little bit heavier than you should can kill you. And 50% of women between 20 and 49 are overweight or obese.
You don't say.
Half of them.
Wow.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. And today we have to figure out why. Because some people are suggesting that a bit of it is societal. You know, it's actually...
People like the...
Yeah. People like body.
Yeah, body.
Excess fat. Even if it's in the right place. Right being in quotes. Is problematic. So today we're getting into it. Yeah.
Good topic.
Indeed. All right. The 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Time now for the Joy Business Report.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, World Bank Board approves $300 million for Ghana to support some budgetary projects and stabilize the economy. Also coming up, Bank of Ghana's international reserves boosted by more than $600 million following the transfer of bailout package from the International Monetary Fund. Plus, inflation expected to decline to 22.4% in January 2024. We hear from IC Research. Stay with us. Great to be with you this morning. My name is Darryl Kwao. Hello to our friends listening from Koforidua on KTU Radio. The World Bank Board has approved $300 million to help support some budgetary projects and stabilize the economy. The support, which comes under the Development Policy Operation, is expected to help Ghana's economic recovery and finance some projects identified in the budget. Here's George Jaffe.
The World Bank Board says this is the first of several support that will be advanced to Ghana to aid in the recovery of the economy. This $300 million should also go a long way to help restore fiscal sustainability, improve energy sector financing in the country. The World Bank, by this support, is also looking at how domestic revenue can be improved, as well as controlling expenditure. The bank also has the view that it should help in restoring fiscal and debt sustainability that would help in curbing inflation in the country. The disbursement follows Ghana's passing of the first review under the IMF program last Friday by the executive board of the fund. The development should mean that almost $1 billion should hit Government of Ghana's accounts at the Bank of Ghana before the end of this month. That is more than $600 million from the IMF, and then this $300 million from the World Bank Group. Joy Business also understands that other donor partners are expected to meet in the coming weeks and approve some additional financing for Ghana to help stabilize the economy.
Judge Affe, with that report, the Bank of Ghana's international reserves have witnessed some significant increase after more than $600 million was credited to its account yesterday following a transfer from the International Monetary Fund as part of the $3 billion extended credit facility program. The executive board of the IMF last Friday approved the disbursement after successfully passing Ghana's first review under the fund program. Now, the development might go a long way to put the Bank of Ghana in a strong position to support the local currency. Now, inflation is expected to decline to 22.4% in January this year from 23.4% in December last year. Thus, according to IC Research, it says improved foreign exchange overturn in late December 2023 into early January 2024 would sustain the lid on price pressures. Additionally, domestic energy prices remain stable with downward bias during January 2024 consumer price index window relative to the same period in 2023. It also anticipates the lagged impact of the lower electricity tariff implemented last month to sustain the disinflation in January 2024. Economics lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Bawku Crisis, has expressed concern about government's inability to harness the high revenue potentials of the telecom and natural resources sectors to improve revenue generation. He believes the number of tax measures introduced are not enough to achieve the 20% revenue target in relation to the size of the economy by 2028. He says there's a need to be more innovative in ensuring potential revenue areas for the economy. Now, Dr. Crisis told Joy Business government must be proactive in revenue collection.
A number of tax measures have already been introduced, but there are still areas. There are still areas that are growing and that have high revenue generating potential. For example, the telecommunication industry is booming. Natural resources, as for minutes I interview me, I'll mention the natural resources. If you ask me now where we are going to get the money to drastically transform this economy, I don't see money coming from anywhere else apart from the natural resource. Just take the list: Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Come to Africa, go to Botswana and Equatorial Guinea. All these resource-rich countries have leveraged their natural resources to mobilize resources to transform their economy. And so, yes, we must turn our attention to the natural resource to mobilize enough resource revenue to transform this economy.
Economics lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Bawku Crisis. Now, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etwaine has urged commercial banks to take proactive steps to enhance their credit risk assessment in order to minimize the elevated loan quality risks. Fitch Ratings has predicted that external debt restructuring will have little impact on Ghana's banking sector, but warns of elevated loan quality risk. Reacting to the matter, Dr. Etwaine said the various commercial banks have a greater role to play in minimizing risk on their loan quality.
The various banks should enhance their credit risk assessment. When you're going to lend to, say, a contractor, what type of contract is he doing? Is he a GOG? If it's a GOG, Ghana government, you will be sure that you're not going to be paid on time. You only have to do donor support or the World Bank project, because if it's only that one, you get paid. If you go and do a GOG, if you lend money to go and do Ghana government roads, you're not going to get paid. And that will stand on your books and it will affect your non-performance. So the banks too should enhance their credit risk management to enable them to be able to be very selective in money too. Other than that, we will continue to experience this over a long time.
You heard banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etwaine. The Africa Center for Energy Policy, ASEP, has reiterated the need to improve efficiency in the collection of bills rather than introduce value-added tax on electricity consumption. ASEP argues that blocking current financial leakages in the system would greatly impact the financial position of the Electricity Company of Ghana. The executive director, Ben Boache, said burdening the consumer now with taxes is ill-timed.
That additional tax on consumers, who are about 30-35% of the total consuming populace, I don't think is going to shift anything. What we need to focus on is making sure that those who are not paying pay. We are able to account for the power that is generated. We have the systems to do that. And once you be able to clean up that space and being able to optimize the tariff so that it is much more less burdensome on the people, then you can then go into these kinds of things to see how do we generate more revenue. Otherwise, you only have a few credible consumers who are always taking the bullet. They're always taking the higher tariffs.
Executive Director of ASEP, Ben Boache. Well, PLC has extended support to the victims of the Akosombo Dam spill to alleviate the plight of displaced individuals. Group CEO and Managing Director Kwame Osei-Prempeh says the move is to give back to communities the company operates in. He spoke during a presentation of a check of 150,000 cedis to the Member of Parliament for the North Tong constituency, Samuel Kujeto Oblakwa.
The Akosombo Dam serves every Ghanaian, and so if in our enjoying it, part of the society suffers for that. It's our obligation to help in whatever way we can. So you called here this morning to make a small donation to help you mitigate your losses.
Kwame Osei-Prempeh, the Group CEO and Managing Director of Well PLC. Cocoa is a major income earner for Ghana, but the sector lacks the investment in technology to boost production. Breaking cocoa pods to harvest beans takes days when in fact it can take minutes with a breaker machine, while two young people have created one to solve this problem. And here's the second part of our feature on MechFix Engineering on the Joy Business Van. The innovative cocoa pod breaker machine was created by Daniel Chumesi and Elizabeth Amwa, who were both trained at the Design and Technology Institute.
Following the design thinking process, we're able to now coach them from step by step
how they'll be able to do that. And they themselves were able to come up with the concepts as to how they want to do it as a result of research they did from the internet, watching videos, reading a lot of books on the subject, visiting the cocoa farming community to inquire from them some of the few things they will need to be integrated into their product.
So that was Philip Edutechi, Solutions Facilitator and Community Innovation Project Coordinator at the Design and Technology Institute, who supervised the making of the cocoa pod breaker machine by McFix Engineering. Catch the full episode at 2 p.m. After the Joy Business Report, 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel. Before we go, let's check the markets for you. On the currency market this morning, the dollar going